Hi guys, my name is Jon Ashwood. I'm a personal trainer based in the UK in Surrey. I'm here in my personal training studio to discuss and talk to you a little bit about the TRX Rip Trainer. The TRX Rip Trainer is a fundamental tool in my life and in my clients at the moment. It was designed by a guy called Pete Holman in the US. Pete came from a Taekwondo background and he wanted a training tool that basically worked on the movements he would do in his sport. Coming from a Thai boxing and MMA background, rotation is a key component in what I do. So for me, rotation is the big focus between strength, power, and obviously kicking, kneeing, and punching. Rotation happens in everyday life. So when we go through rotational patterns, whether we're walking, throwing a ball, or even picking something up, rotation happens all the time. So rotation is very, very functional, and working on rotation and stabilising rotation is a big, big part of our life. And it should be done while we train, I believe, as well. The TRX Rip Trainer essentially is a bar attached to a bungee system. Now the bungee system can be changed depending on what resistance you choose. I use it a lot with my clients, and for me it's a great tool in stabilising rotation and working on core exercises while creating a high metabolic effect. It's a really, really big cardiovascular effect as well, so you'll find that you can bridge the gap between cardiovascular training and resistance training while working really, really well with your core. Every exercise we're going to be doing today, which I'm going to be demonstrating, works on an asymmetrical low pattern. So basically, the idea is that I create rotation and stabilise rotation with the Rip Trainer. Now the Rip Trainer essentially can be attached to any anchor point you choose. I'm going to attach it to one of my X mounts in my studio today, but we can attach it to a park bench, an anchor point in the door, depending on where you are. It's very portable, very light, and it screws together. So what I'm going to do is just attach it to my anchor point now, which is the X mount. The first exercise I'm going to show you is facing the anchor point, but before I do that, I want to show you the safety strap. It's very, very important that, because this is a bungee system, if I walked away and let go of the bungee system, it would go back into my anchor point, which is very obviously a safety hazard. So one thing I always say is make sure you've got your safety strap on. The base hand goes in the safety strap and then just gets tightened like so. We then grab hold of the Rip Trainer. Now if I was to let go of it, it's not going to go anywhere or injure anybody, which is very, very important. Now, very, very important that we work on some loading techniques and actually stabilise rotation before we create rotation. So the first exercise I'm going to show you is facing the anchor point. We're going to work on different zones. Now the zones on the Rip Trainer are very, very simple. All we're going to do is we're just going to work our way up the Rip Trainer, explaining the zones. So zone 1 would be the base hand, which would be right at the very, very bottom. Zone 2 would be mid-grip above zone 1. Zone 3 would be this yellow portion here. Zone 4 would be here, and zone 5 would be right at the very top, where the system end is. So what we're going to do to start off with, we're going to take a grip of zone 1 and zone 5. I'm then going to, I'm just going to change my side so you guys can see. We're going to grab zone 1 to grab zone 5, and then we're going to face the anchor point so I've got a good straight line and direct with me. One thing I don't want to do is, when I go into rotation, is rotate to the body. So a good way of doing that is making sure you've got a straight line from the anchor point. So we've got a good overhand grip on the bar. Very important, I want everybody just to kind of make sure that the shoulders are down when you're doing this exercise. So shoulders are down, hips are extended, glutes are tight. And you want to think about gripping the bar and squeezing our lats. This is going to engage lots of different kind of muscles through the posterior chain. Now, this is what's called a standing plank essentially. Now what we're going to do is we're going to focus on adding a row to it. So I'm going to start off with a squat plank, which is just stabilising the upper portion of my back, if you like, and actively working through the lower portion of my body. Now the great thing is with this tool, I can stabilise the top half of my body while working my lower half, and vice versa. I can row while stabilising the lower half of my body. Now with the rows, we're looking to draw the elbows back, squeeze the shoulder blades, brace the core, but stabilise rotation, both sides. So the bar is going equally into my chest. Now the great thing is, I can create a high metabolic effect by using both exercises together and do a squat to row. I can change that over as well, and squat and row at the top. From there I can go into creating rotation. So I'm going to slide my system hand down into zone 4. Zone 4 from here, I'm then going to make sure I've got both overhand grips. I'm going to think about drawing back with the shoulder blade as I go into rotation. I'm just going to add a little squat to it. So from here, I squat, pull, squat, pull. The idea is I can add intensity once I've got the body position I'm comfortable with and I'm maintaining good strong planking, and then I can add some energy to it, which is going to create a big cardiovascular metabolic effect. That's a few exercises you can do. One of my favourite ones I want to show you today is what's called a samurai chop. It's one of my favourites. So what we're going to do, effectively, is we're going to stand side facing the ankle point, with my right shoulder in line with the ankle point. I'm just going to change the safety strap, and we'll work the opposite side now. I'm going to take my base hand at the bottom to zone 1, and then I'm going to take an underhand grip into zone 4. Side facing the ankle point, my shoulder directly there. I'm just going to feel for the resistance first to make sure that I can go into rotation. So from there, the samurai chop is going to be a little bit of a step pattern. So the idea is I'm going to take a big step out. I'm just going to increase the resistance that I'm going to chop through, and then the chop's going to come straight in line with the midline of my body. I'm going to extend this arm out and extend, making sure that my core is strong, my posture is tall, and then I'm going to release all the fur and go into rotation through here. Now the mechanics of rotation are all to do with the hips, so what we really want to focus on is, are we driving through the hips on this exercise? A little bit of a pull on this arm, extend the system arm out, reach out in front of you, try to over-rotate, and then come back into this strong planking. One thing we've got to be very cautious of with this bungee system, that when we go into this samurai strut, we create some speed and power that it doesn't control us going back. So the idea is I maintain my strong plank, go back toward the ankle point. I can then add some energy to it and step a bit further. Good exercise to create rotational force. Punches, kicks all generate from this type of action. Kicking a football, throwing a baseball, throwing a tennis ball, everything's doing it. Everyday life is based on rotation. So whether you're playing tennis with the kids, whether you're an MMA fighter, whether you're a football player, everything's based on rotation. This is a great tool to use. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you a small clip of a group session that I've put together with my clients, showing you all different types of exercises we're going to be doing. Thank you for watching my video.